And by now, y'all know it would have been a Mickey D's up there or something. Right. We be going to the moon on the
married on the moon.
If they did that back then.
Vacation on the moon.
It don't work like that. It don't work like that. It was a diversion to keep people off what was really going on, which was the Vietnam War at the time. So they threw a diversion out there like, oh, we're on the moon.
Illusion.
You feel me? A lot of people swallowed their hook, line, and sinker. What's the name of that movie, Dad?
It's a couple movies. O.J. Simpson did one called Capricorn 1, where they show how they filmed it in a Nevada desert and how they set up. But it's a YouTube you see called Illuminati and the Moon, and they gonna
Rockefeller was
they gonna show you how they defeat.
Yeah, the Rockefeller. And you see them make statements though. Like Rockefeller told them, look, if we can't do it, let's say it.
Wow. And understand this, the eagle was the booty bird on the back of your dollar. That's why they said the eagle has land. It's the eagle, and also they said Apollo 1 is Apollyon, the beast in the bottomless pit. It was called Apollo 1. So, and then first thing I know, he had a Masonic apron on, standing on the moon. He never tripped off of that. All of the astronauts was 33rd degree Mason.
It was Illuminati project. Now check this out. They got an actual video on YouTube where they show the stage prop fall and hit the astronaut in the shoulder, and they cut and say, cut tape, and re-roll it again. Man, it was straight hoax.
It was a hoax.
Straight hoax.
The thing never flew on Earth. It never had a successful mission on Earth. You think they just gonna shoot it out there and say, let's try our luck out there?
Russia never did.
Russia said it would take a man in a 300-pound lead suit to withstand the radiation. It's 338 degrees below zero. When the sun is on the other side.
But when the sun is not showing, it's too cold to withstand anything.
Right.
It's a wrap, man. It's all a lie. All the
time we thought they landed on the moon.
The most I put in there is the ordinance.
But though, like you just said all this time, we thought black people never believed it in the first place. Right. That's what my mom always said. You ain't getting go clean your room, you ran the moon. Right. Amongst black people, it was never that.
Y'all want to get that Jeremiah? Hey, get that Psalm, y'all. Get that Psalm. Psalm
104, 19, 20.
Hey, and if y'all get on YouTube, we got a couple brothers up here got channels. God's Warrior 298 on YouTube. That's a channel when the brothers be filming the class. And then St. Louis Israelites. If you get on there and go to our favorites, we got it saved on there. The actual moon landing hoax. And it's funny if I sit down, you always laughing like, man, look at these heathens. Got everybody fooled thinking they ain't went nowhere. They ain't went nowhere. All right, man, we're going to get that Psalm 104 and that Jeremiah. Let's get this.
Right quick.
All right, let's get that Psalm 104. It should be a Mickey D's up there or something by now. Trips and all that.
Come on, man. That's portion. That's part of the plan. The robot.
Well, we have to look up, like I say, it's a movie at home called now called Paper Moon. Make sure y'all look it up. It's called Paper Moon. What they do is they got prototypes of all of the equipment that they use. Prototypes mean an exact replica of the original. They measured the hole. You can barely get a man through that, let alone with a backpack on. He could barely squeeze through the opening that they measured, and they measuring it like this. But when you see him, he's turning the microphone on people that work there. They say, how is this possible? The guy just turned away like and Google Buzz Aldrin hit man in face because the man gave him the Bible and said, put your hand on her if you've been to the moon. And he punched the dude in the face.
Every time you got that,
you can Google that too.
Man, let's get back to this. Let's get write that down on the board. Psalm 104. Right 19 and 20.
Hey, Balloon.
No, the other one that you said.
Buzz Aldrin.
Right there on the board.
Buzz Aldrin hit man in the face for telling him to put his hand on the Bible. It'll come up the newspaper clip.
Y'all know
in
he
a hotel.
Buzz Aldrin is one of them guys that supposedly landed on the moon. Like Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin. They didn't do a movie Transformers 3 if y'all seen it. The Dark Side of the Moon, that's the name of the movie. It's crazy, man. Buzz Aldrin
sold on the ran, huh?
Malachi.
You know, that'd be crazy. Somebody saying they going to the sun,
Malachi.
but they going at night.
Let's get this, y'all.
And still, as we go through, just explain that this is still Satan doing his work. He's
That's
good.
right.
He's good at what he does.
Right.
You know, and to make you, and this thing is about us, as they don't tell you. They hate to tell you, nigga.
Right.
You know what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
You know,
They're right. They look at it like that. These your laws.
things were set up. Things were set up in here. Now just think if we had not stopped, had we not stopped in the South to pick cotton and chop cotton. You know, if they'd have turned us loose in the West, there were a few blacks in the West, but you think they did the Indians bad? You know, supposing we'd have been out there in the Indians' place, they cleaned us. You know, but the things that we Most High stopped us, we came over here and in verse 6 they chose that we'd be going into bondage.
Right.
You know, and that's what we've been. We the only people in the world that can chop cotton, pick cotton. You know, I don't know how many lashes I had.
Brick without straw.
You know, but this thing is still, it's all still one part, and it goes on and on to deceive. They'll never tell you who you are. You have to study to find out who you are and what you are and what the Most High has put forth for us to study and to do. They'll never tell you. They don't care nothing about that. You ought to probably be full. That make a fire y'all talking about getting into, you know.
Right. All right, let's get this, y'all. Psalms 104.
Verse 19. He appointed the moon for seasons.
He appointed the moon for what?
For seasons.
For seasons.
The sun knows it's going down.
The sun knows it's going down.
Thou makest darkness, and it is night, wherein all the beasts of the forest do creep forth.
That's it.
Right. They say all the beasts do creep forth. That's why you always watching National Geographic. They use night vision because all of the beasts come out
at night, right.
at this time. Nocturnal. Exactly. So they come out and they're killing and praying.
All right, let's get this, y'all. Leviticus 23.
And we come out that time too, don't we? Right.
Come out at night, Leviticus the 23rd chapter. Also, if y'all want biblical verification on the new moon being the first day of the month, y'all read 1 Samuel chapter 20. And it'll go right into it. In Exodus 12, like bro was saying. It'll go right into it. It was a new moon feast where Saul was trying to kill David. Alright? So y'all read that when y'all get a chance. It's scriptural verification on the new moon being the first day of the month.
That's right.
Alright? 1 Samuel, the whole chapter. 1 Samuel chapter 20, the whole chapter. You'll see that David was actually fleeing for his life on the new moon feast. Right? And then the next day he say tomorrow is the second day. You feel me? So tomorrow's the second day was today. It's the first day. It was the new moon. Alright? Let's get to Leviticus 23.
Verse 23.
Yeah, start at verse 23.
Everybody there?
Now remember, we read in Colossians that these feasts are a shadow of what's coming. It got to do with Christ. So we're going to read about the feast, and then we're going to show how it shows Christ. Alright? That's what we're going to do and get a total understanding. Leviticus 23.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel in the 7th month.
In the what month?
The 7th month.
7th month or 7th moon. Moon means month. 7th month, right?
In the first day of the month shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, and holy convocation.
A holy convocation or a holy rehearsal. Convocation comes from a word, it's mikrah in Hebrew, M-I-K-R-A, 4744 in your concordance. It means a rehearsal. Alright, so he say have a memorial blowing the trumpets, a holy convocation or a holy rehearsal.
When we come together for convocation?
Yeah, you graduate, people gather and they rehearse. We're rehearsing something when we get this going. All right, read that again, Hebrew.
Verse 24, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the first day of the month, ye shall have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets and holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
So we see that this day is treated like it's the Sabbath, but it's not the Sabbath every week, it's a Sabbath.
Right.
Remember it said, reverence my Sabbaths. We read it earlier. So the first day of the 7th month is considered a Sabbath. It's a holy convocation, it's a rehearsal for something. We read in Colossians that the feast got to do with Christ. They're a shadow of what's coming. The body is of Christ, right? So the trumpet would blow and the people would gather. It's either wartime or we rehearsing for something. That's the only time the trumpet blows. Time to go to war. People gather, right? All right, let's get this. Matthew 24. We're going to show the trumpets first, and then we coming back there and we're going to show the atonement. Matthew 24. Let's show y'all how this got to do with Christ. Matthew 24. 29 to 32.
Right, y'all. We have to understand for those groups out here that's trying to build a kingdom up under this sun and under this moon. Christ ain't going to dwell in the kingdom up under this sun and up under this moon. So that's a good tip off if somebody trying to set up a kingdom up under this sun and up under this moon. Because it ain't happening. He ain't going to dwell with his ordinances like they got some power. Or some glory they want to share with him.
So the first day of the 7th month is the memorial to bring you into remembrance of blowing the trumpet. Remember that. Trumpet blow, and the people gather. We rehearse for something. Alright, what are we rehearsing for? That's the question need to be asked. Matthew 24, let's get it. Matthew 24, verse 29 to 32. The trumpet blow, the people are gathered. And it's wartime. Alright? The body is of Christ. They're a shadow of things to come. What's coming? Who's returning? Huh? Alright, let's get that. Matthew 24.
Yes.
Verse 29 to like 32.
Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened.
What's going to be darkened?
The sun be darkened.
Sun going to be darkened. Okay, come on.
And the moon shall not give her light. And the stars shall fall from heaven. And the powers of the heavens shall be shaken.
This is Christ talking about what's preceding his coming. Right?
Heavens and earth.
Right? Come on.
And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn.
What they mourning for if everybody loved Christ?
Right.
Everybody down with Christ. What you mourning for if he returns?
Right.
What you scared for? Somebody ain't been teaching the true Messiah the Father. What is you mad about? What everybody angry for? Shook.
Right.
The king just returned. They know it's wartime. Understand? There's been lies spread on his name for over 2,000 years. You get mad at somebody lying on you for a second.
And his people.
2,000 years. Him, his people, his message, all that. And another tip-off point what brother was saying, you got people that claim to be the Christ. You got brothers like Ben Ammi Carter, the bus driver from Chicago, he claimed to be the Christ. Got another brother call himself God, Son of God, Yahweh Ben Yahweh. He be on Channel 8 sometimes. Well, he's dead now, but he still got followers. Right? But the scriptures say before Christ returns, the sun gonna lose his light, moon gonna lose his light, stars gonna fall. So anybody claiming that Christ is on earth right now and that sun is beaming on him, what you gonna call him?
A liar.
You gotta call him a liar. You can't be the Christ according to the prophecy.
The truth is not in you.
Right? Because guess what? The sun and the moon and all they gotta lose is light. The day of the Lord is a day of darkness. So get that little prairie, house on the prairie image out your head. It's gonna be all good. You're gonna be jumping double dutch with the Lord. Nah, they dark.